Namaskar and welcome to Ravindra Bondre YouTube channel. Dear students, we are studying online classes about 9th class Science and Technology 2, and the chapter is Heredity and Variation, and today's point is about ribonucleic acid, also called RNA. Now this ribonucleic acid is the second type of nucleic acid after DNA. DNA is the master molecule we have seen yesterday, and after that the second type of molecule is ribonucleic acid. So this is the second type of nucleic acid. Now which are the contents of RNA and what is the difference between DNA and RNA? In DNA, the sugar is present called deoxyribose. In RNA, sugar is present called ribose. Then phosphoric acid is common. Phosphoric acid is common in both DNA and RNA. So, and the third is nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous base. So in DNA, there are four types of nitrogenous bases. One is adenine, then guanine, cytosine, and thymine. We have seen yesterday that adenine and guanine are called purines. Then cytosine and thymine are called pyrimidines. So these are four nitrogenous bases. So present in DNA. Which are the nitrogenous bases present in RNA? So we shall see one by one. The first is adenine. Then second is guanine. Third is cytosine, and the fourth is uracil. So you can see thymine is present in DNA, but instead of thymine, uracil is present in RNA. Only that is difference. So again, these two are called purines, adenine and guanine, and cytosine and uracil are called pyrimidines. So that is the difference only. So one sugar molecule, one phosphorus molecule or phosphoric acid, and one of the nitrogenous base. All these three comprises, as we have seen yesterday, they are called a molecule of nucleotide. For example, in RNA, one sugar molecule, one phosphoric acid molecule, and one of the nitrogenous base, say A, adenine. These are combinedly called as one nucleotide. So here also there are four types of nucleotides because there are four types of nitrogenous bases. So that is the basic information of what is called RNA and types of RNA. Now we shall see types of RNA. So these nucleotides are combined each other to form the macromolecule of RNA. One nucleotide means phosphoric acid and sugar. It is common. Only nitrogenous base is changed. Here A, it may have U, it may have C or G, and so on. So all these nucleotides combine together to form a macromolecule of RNA. So that is the basic information of RNA. Now we shall see the types of RNA according to their function. कार्यानुसार RNA चे प्रकार कोणकोणते we shall see one by one. The first type of RNA is types of RNA. The first type is ribosomal RNA, also called rRNA, where R stands for ribosome. So, as the name suggests, the molecule of RNA which is present in a cell organelle called ribosome is called ribosomal RNA. The type of RNA which is present in a cell organelle called ribosome is called ribosomal RNA, and this ribosome is help or used for protein synthesis. So ribosome is used for synthesis of protein in the cell. So that is a short information of ribosomal RNA or rRNA. Second type is messenger RNA or called mRNA. So messenger RNA is a type of RNA that carry the sequence, it carry information of protein from gene or DNA. So mRNA is a type of RNA which carry the information of protein synthesis from gene or DNA. Gene or DNA are present in nucleus, and then they bring information from the gene or DNA, and this information is carried to the ribosome which is present in cytoplasm. So listen, this is a cell, this is nucleus, and the information is brought from the DNA. या DNA पासून तो information आणतो कोण messenger RNA, either from gene or DNA, and this information is in the form of coded language. It is brought outside the nucleus in the cytoplasm, and it is carried to the ribosome. So this is called, so this type of RNA is called messenger RNA. We shall see the diagram of this RNA. The diagram is like this. So this is the like this. So such information is present in the form of code or also called codon. Then third, so in this way there are large number of such codons are there, and the shape of codon is like this, and they carry the information of uh, information from gene or DNA and it is carried outside the nucleus in the cytoplasm. So that is the function of what is called mRNA. So it is carried to ribosome, and we have seen that ribosome is used for protein synthesis. So this is the second type of RNA. Then the third type of RNA is called transfer RNA. Transfer RNA, also called tRNA. The third type of RNA, the shape of this RNA is like this. Again there are codons like this. So this is the diagram of one of the transfer RNA. So these bands, these are in the form of codons. So this type of RNA, which according to the message carried by mRNA, the mRNA function is to carry message or information from gene. It is brought outside the nucleus, and then according to the message, the tRNA carries, this tRNA carries the information of amino acid. A particular amino acid is carried by this tRNA to form protein synthesis. So in all of the three we have seen protein synthesis. So all are related with ribosome protein synthesis. So the first type, ribosomal RNA, is present in the ribosome, and ribosome is used for synthesis of protein. Ribosome is present in cytoplasm. mRNA or messenger RNA is carry the information from gene or DNA in the form of code or codon. We have seen the bands, colored bands, and from this gene and DNA are present in nucleus. It is brought by messenger RNA outside the nucleus in cytoplasm towards ribosome. Then tRNA or transfer RNA are the special type of RNA which according to the message on mRNA. The mRNA which carry code or codon or message in the form of code. So they form accordingly amino acids for the synthesis of proteins or protein synthesis. So that is called transfer RNA. So these are three types of RNA and their functions. Now we shall see next part of this topic, Mendel's principles of heredity. Next topic we have to see Mendel's principles of heredity. Mendel's principles of heredity. So we know that information of one generation is carried to the next by heredity, and hence
there is a similarity between the first generation and next generation, or we can say parents and their offspring. Why there is similarity? Because characters from parents are carried to offsprings, and the principles of heredity based on this fact means transfer of characters from parents to their progeny or offspring or next generation. Here both the parents, both means male and female, make equal contribution, and hence the equal characters are transferred to their offsprings or progeny. Now, if equal characters from both parents are carried to the next progeny or next generation, then the question arises that which character exists in the next generation? And this was given by Mendel's principles of heredity. So, Gregor Johann Mendel, he was an Austrian scientist. He was a father at Austrian church, and behind the church there was a tremendous open space. So, as he is a scientist, so he used that space for, and he done an experiment on a plant called pea plant, called as Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum or pea plant. So he grown pea plants in that open area, and he studied their characters. He made some observations, and these observations were observations were made by him, but these observations were not published by him. After his death, then some scientists found that the observations made by Mendel were same as the observations made by the scientist later on, and hence after that Mendel was famous. So he is called father of genetics. Father of genetics. We have seen the definition of genetics, the branch of science that deals with the study of genes or genome or DNA. It's called genetics, and hence he is called father of genetics because he is the founder of that topic. Which topic? The principles of heredity. And this heredity, the characters are transferred through genes or DNA or chromosomes, and hence he is called father of genetics. So let us see how he studied on Pisum sativum. So Pisum sativum is a self-pollinated plant. The plant is self-pollinated. What do you mean by pollination? All of you know pollination. Pollination is transfer of pollen grains to the stigma of the plant. Pollen grains to stigma. This process is called pollination. And I told that this Pisum sativum or pea plant is a self-pollinated plant. So what is self-pollination? Self-pollination. Same definition. The transfer of pollen grains to the stigma of same flower. So in the same flower, both sex organs are present. Male contains pollen grains, female contains stigma. So transfer of pollen grains of the same flower to the stigma of the same flower by some agencies like insects or air or what is called water for aquatic plants. that is called self-pollination, and this plant is a self-pollinated plant. So he studied 7 characters of that plant. Which are the characters? We shall see one by one. The first character, one is called, for example, flower, color of flower. Now one character is dominant, one is recessive. One is dominant, one is recessive. So, color flower, red and white is the first. Then second is height of plant. Dominant is tall, recessive is dwarf. Dwarf means short. Then the third character, color of seed. Yellow, green. Then fourth, shape of seed. Round and wrinkled. Then the next, shape of pod. Pod means shaggy, constricted and inflated. So inflated is a dominant character and constricted is a recessive character. Then position of flower. Flower. There are two positions. One is terminal and one is axial. So axillary is dominant character and terminal is recessive character. And 7, shape of pod. The color of pod, 7 character, color of pod. Pod means shading. The pod of Pisum sativum or pea plant. Green is dominant and yellow is recessive. So these are 7 characters studied by Mendel. He found that there are some plants having red flowers, some have white flowers. Some plants of this Pisum sativum are tall, some are dwarf. Then color of seed, yellow, green. Then shape of seed, round, wrinkled. Then shape of pod, inflated, constricted. Position of flower, axillary, terminal. Now axillary flower means like this. Suppose this is the stem, this is the leaf, and the flower is inside the axil. This part is called axil. Then a terminal flower means at the top. This is the stem. Like this. This is called terminal. So axillary, terminal. And color of pod, green and yellow. These 7 characters which are contrasting. Contrasting means we can see the difference, height, tall plant and short plant immediately. So that is called contrast characters. He have studied, and according to this, he found that red. He told us that these characters are dominant and these characters are recessive. So why some characters are dominant and why some characters are recessive? So for that we have to study what is dominant character. Dominant character is that character which exists itself or which show its existence in every generation. प्रत्येक पिढ्यामध्ये तो आपलं अस्तित्व दाखवतो, त्याला म्हणायचं डॉमिनंट कॅरेक्टर. सो ही फाउंड दॅट रेड, टॉल, येलो, राउंड, inflated, axillary beak. These characters are repeated generation to generation and many times. So they are called. So they are called as dominant character. Recessive characters are those characters which cannot express themselves in presence of a dominant characters. म्हणजे हे स्वतःचं अस्तित्व दाखवू शकत नाहीत का? बिकॉज ऑफ डॉमिनंट कॅरेक्टर, and hence they are called as recessive characters. So some characters are dominant and some characters are what is called the recessive. Then after that we shall see some other examples. For example, in the book some questions are asked, do you know, page number 184. So some dominant and recessive characters in humans are also given. For example, these earlobes we have seen in the first class of this chapter. The earlobe free and the earlobes which are sticky. So free earlobes is a dominant character and these sticky earlobes or attached earlobe, it is recessive character. सो हे डॉमिनंट कॅरेक्टर आहे आणि जर हे चिकटलेले असतील त्याला म्हणायचं रेसिव्ह कॅरेक्टर. देन टंग, रॉलिंग टंग इज डॉमिनंट कॅरेक्टर. व्हॉट इज रॉलिंग टंग? जीभ वळत्या, रॉलिंग टंग is a dominant character. And unrolled tongue means the tongueचं रोलिंग होते अशी जी बोलते, that is called recessive character. Then second, presence on hair on arms. Generally in males hairs are present which are adults, hairs are present on arms, that is a dominant character. But if the hairs are absent then that is a recessive character. Then black and curly hair. Generally Indians have black hairs, but if they are black and also curly means कुरळे केस असतील आणि काळे असतील, that is called dominant character. And if the hairs are brown and straight then it is called recessive character. So these are some of the four characters in human beings. So in this some are dominant character and some are recessive character. But though whatever the type of character, it may be dominant or recessive, it doesn't affect on the life of that human being or life of that plant. Though it may be a dominant or that it may be recessive. So we have seen dominant characters, recessive characters, and definition of dominant, definition of what is called recessive. So according to this, now today we shall study conclusion of Mendel's laws. So for that he made some crosses. So one of the cross is called monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Mono means single. The cross that involve only one pair of contrasting character. The cross that involve only one pair of contrasting character is called monohybrid cross. For example, if we consider height of plant, tall and dwarf, only one pair contrasting. Contrasting means short and tall. This is contrasting. Immediately we can identify that the plant is tall, the plant is short. So where only one pair of contrasting characters involved, that is called the monohybrid cross. So we have to study monohybrid cross and monohybrid ratio by considering the height of plant, only one character. He studied all the characters, and in every character he found the same principles or he found same observations. So we study only one character, and the character is height of plant. So dominant character is tall, recessive character is short. So again we have to see two definitions and then we stop today. One definition is phenotype, and other is genotype. Phenotype is the external appearance of the organism. For example, height of plant, immediately we can identify that the plant is tall, plant is short. Then color of seed, immediately by looking the color we can identify that some seeds of Pisum sativum or pea plant are yellow and some are green. So then color of seed, then shape of seed. Some seeds are round and some are wrinkled. The Indian varieties of pulses, for example, Bengal gram, harbara, it is wrinkled variety. Kabuli chana and local chana. Kabuli chana is a dominant character and local is wrinkled. It looks like this. And Kabuli chana is like this. So this is wrinkled. So in this way, the phenotype is that character which is external appearance of the organism. So we can immediately by looking its external appearance identify that which is dominant and which is recessive character. Then second is genotype. Genotype is the genetical constitutions of that organism. It may be a plant or it may be an animal. For example, tall plant is shown by genotype capital T because genes are always in pairs and hence we have to write in pairs capital T. Or short plant or dwarf plant, they are shown by small t. Don't show like small d, dwarf. So short are shown by small t. So it is called genetical appearance. So we have seen today about types of RNA, about RNA, difference between DNA and RNA, then types of RNA according to their functions. Then we have started Mendel's principles of heredity. Who was Mendel and on which plant he works? The plant is Pisum sativum. Then we have seen the dominance and recessive characters, 7 contracting characters, and then we have started monohybrid cross, definition of monohybrid cross, definition of dominance character, definition of recessive character, definition of phenotype, and definition of genotype. So all the basis of all these definitions will start the monohybrid cross in detail in the next grade. Till then, goodbye and take care. During this spread of corona, stay at home and work at home and do study at home.